back to Let's Talk World Show here at the Art House Theaters in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm your host, Mike Vegas Dorton, and thank you all for staying tuned and watching. A couple of shout outs to our friends in Tokyo, Japan, Yabe, and my friend Debbie back in Maryland is watching our show. And our next guest, the beautiful, lovely, and I'm going to change my accent a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tennessee right here in the house with us. And Tennessee is the Director of Sales and Customer Service at the Nevada Room, which is over on Commerce Center.
At Commercial Center.
Commercial Center.
Mm-hmm.
So welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm glad I don't usually get to bring out my country accent, but does it sound a little bit Nashville-y or maybe a little bit more like West Virginia, I think?
It sounds really country.
Does it sound really country?
It sounds really
I'm
country.
glad you like it. Well, thank you. I feel right at home with you. So,
Really?
Yeah, so how are you doing?
Great.
Yeah.
How are you?
Very good. So you're fairly new to Las Vegas, right? Can you tell us a little bit about where you're from? Tennessee, hint. And
Born and raised in Nashville. Spent 51 years there, and then decided to get brave and take a chance, and got a job offer here at the Nevada Room, and came over to take this job about 2 months ago.
2 months ago. Wow. Well, welcome to Las Vegas. Are you liking it so far here?
Yes. I had been visiting for a couple of years previous to see friends and network a little.
Okay, so how did that come about? It wasn't like an ad on Craigslist or something. I mean, how did you get a job at this prestigious Nevada Room and doing all that from Nashville? Like how?
Yeah, so I was on my annual girls cruise on Royal Caribbean, where Jimmy Hopper of Vegas fame plays, and I met him there, and he talked all about different shows that he did in Vegas and things like that. And at the time, this was in 2019, I was a Vegas virgin, never been to Vegas, and I was like, I think next time he's playing in his hometown, I'm going to go. Well, it's not his hometown, but anyway, where he plays. So, sure enough, he had a show come up, and I flew out and went to see him at Ron DeCar's Event Center when it was in full swing, and got to know Ron, and then, of course, talked to Jimmy. And next thing I know, I'm doing a little bit of promotion work for Jimmy on the East Coast. And then he played my 50th birthday party in Nashville. I flew him out for that. And he wowed the crowd, as he always does.
Hey, Jimmy Hopper is like one of the premier entertainers here. Yeah. He's also, and I mean this with respect, I've heard it many times, he is Vegas' biggest male diva. But he has earned that title in the way of what he does, his incredible showmanship, and he's funny as heck too. I mean, he's just the complete entertainer.
He is.
Wouldn't you say?
He is.
So wow, he did your birthday party?
So he did my birthday party, and then in August of 2020, he was playing his debut at the Vegas Room, which is the sister to the Nevada Room that I'm employed for. And so I met the owner, Tom Michelle, at Jimmy's show when I flew in for that, and we got to talking, and fast forward several months, Tom offered me a job and said, when can you be in Vegas? I said, well, I've got a house to sell and I got things to do. It might take a couple of months. So we agreed on July 1st, and here I am. Wow, that is so cool.
And while you've been here, hasn't the Nevada Room already hosted? I'm sure you've met them all, or just
110 local entertainers have graced our stage.
10 entertainers.
Yes. And they're all just amazing. I mean, I come in every night just mesmerized by what I'm going to find next. It's a fabulous venue. Fabulous.
That's wonderful. Hey, can we talk about, because I know that takes up a lot of time, but also your other career with dealing with managing with
oh, yes. So
healthcare? Yes.
I'm a manager for a team of medical review nurses. I team up, I manage 60 nurses. Well, it'd be 60 by the end of the year. Currently at 53. We're growing every day. So, yeah. So that's the job that pays the insurance and the bills. And the Nevada Room's the side hustle. So,
that's a great side hustle.
It is. Though. It's wonderful. Wow. It is wonderful. Love it there. It's got that old Vegas feel to that.
So a particular show I like over there reoccurring is that Kelly Clinton sit-in show.
Yes, Thursday night sit-in with Kelly Clinton. That has been just a game changer for us. So phenomenal. And she brings such energy to the stage. And the people that she invites on stage with her, and her little comic skits are hilarious. She's just a gem. She truly is. It's been a blessing meeting her.
What can I ask you? So for those of you watching who don't know, with the Vegas room, the Nevada room, and then there's the bistro area. Like, how is it laid out? It's 3 different particular.
3 different particular venues. So the Vegas room was the original. It's the one around the corner from the Nevada room that you can see when you turn in, and it has the red doors. It is supper club, high end. 7-course meal and a show. It's more listening room setting, so there's no service when the performers are on stage, out of respect, and they usually will play a set, take a break for dessert and more drinks, and then they come back on to play a second set. So when it's open and in full swing, which it will be back again for the Christmas show, then that is how that one runs. And then they got lucked into some real estate right in the same property that's about 7,000 square feet, and their dream was to have a piano bistro connected to a showroom. Yes. So the Piano Bistro bar side is one side, and then we just got our theater license, so now the showroom is its own entity. So
wow, fantastic.
Fabulous.
Well, I can refer you to certain great artists, singers that are sitting right over there, Miss Dana Day. So if you want to, she could do a show over there. I think that'd be wonderful if we had Dana do a show at any of those showrooms. Nevada room. Yeah, you've been asked to do that? That's wonderful. I'm going to go. It's worth it. It's worth it. So, wow. Yeah. So it's laid out 3 different rooms. So reoccurring things right now is the Kelly Clinton sit-in show on Thursdays.
On Thursdays.
Right.
Phyllis Tilley's there on Wednesday nights, Philly and Friends. And tonight is actually Battle of the Saxes. So you can get your sax on.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So who are the sax players for?
Tule and Kitty Green are our sax players tonight. Yes.
Okay.
And this is round 5. Yeah,
right.
Of their battle.
So if you love saxophones, the Nevada room, do we know the address? I don't know.
953 East Sahara.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Come
and that's going to be what colored door?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say Tiffany blue, but it's a tealish kind of blue. And you can't miss it when you turn into the center. They're right there. So, yeah.
I can't help but think that since you've only been here a couple of months and you're working so much, what's the biggest difference? Or what's the biggest difference so far that you've seen with the difference between living in Tennessee and only being here for a little while? But are there any similarities? Or
besides the fact that my accent doesn't blend in,
it
kind of
does.
sticks out like a sore thumb.
Oh no, it's beautiful though. It's like
Thanks.
sweet country charm and
right.
Yeah.
So I guess it's been really weird not to see green and not have to worry about mowing grass because the yards are all gravel. That's pretty weird. And I have been really intrigued when I wake up and look at the weather on my phone and the little, how to have the weather emoji like sunny or cloudy or whatever. I've seen some that I had to look up because I didn't know what they were. And it's like smoke, wind. Now, I'm used to wind, but it usually comes along with thunderstorm warning or tornadoes. But it's very different here. Very different.
Smoke, sometimes it's smoke coming from the California fires or things like that.
Yes, and it does no good to wash your car here because it's just going to get dirty. And we're all about clean cars, so that's been pretty weird.
Or you can sign up like, the monthly services. That's what's different. I noticed they didn't have that in Hawaii. They didn't have that on the East Coast, but $30 a month or something, and you can go get your car washed as many times as you want. So car's always clean.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So how do people get a hold of you, Tennessee Miss Kristen Thompson?
They show up at the Nevada room.
They do that.
And come ask for Tennessee because if the doors are open, I'm usually there.
And you can't miss her because she's sitting down, but she's about 6 feet tall. And beautiful, and yes, you are.
I don't know about all that, but thank you. A Southern girl's supposed to just say thanks and move on.
A Southern girl that knows every line to the movie The Replacements, which I worked on as Keanu Reeves' stand-in or production and all that stuff. And how did that come about? I mean, why The Replacements?
I'm a big movie buff anyway. I love to watch movies, and my family quotes movies back and forth at each other. My brother and I together can quote Forrest Gump back and forth. But I had a coworker on my first Medicare contract. I was working with nursing review, and she and I got to talking one night, and she liked that movie, and I said something and quoted it at her, and she quoted something back, and then it became just a big game. Every time it would run on whatever channel, we'd text each other, The Replacements is on so-and-so channel, and then we start quoting each other, And I told her one night, I said, between you and me, we can quote the whole movie, start to end, no lie.
And that was a great movie,
It
wasn't it?
was a
It was
great movie, absolutely.
And then when you and I met, that was kind of like the breaking the ice because we were able to talk about, because I worked on the film and all the behind the scenes stories, and that's great. And
it was fabulous. So, yeah, but it's been a weird career. Like, so you had asked about career stuff and things also, and I talked about the nursing, but I didn't go all the way back. So I have my marketing and advertising degree from a bazillion years ago, right, that I never used because I got my law enforcement job. So I never used the marketing stuff ever. And then all of a sudden, and then I got into law enforcement, and my niche in history is there's a very rural town outside of Nashville that was like probably about 9 officers when I started there, and I was the first female officer they ever had. So that's my little one-liner in the history book. And they didn't know what to do with me. It was very strange. So they were very archaic and behind the times, and their badges said patrolman. And they were afraid I was going to be offended, so they bought the entire department new badges that said officer. Okay. And then I got knocked up, and they were like, oh, we don't have a maternity policy. We don't know what to do with a pregnant woman. So that was funny. Very entertaining. I wound up collecting water bills in the water department for the rest of my pregnancy. It's fabulous times.
So law enforcement.
And then I went to nursing school. So there you go.
Wow. The law enforcement, you have a reminder of that, I believe. We can't show it on camera, but I remember you showed me a beautiful. So instead of carrying the badge around, you have it placed.
It is tattooed strategically on the ankle.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's another thing that kind of broke the ice with you and I, is because I have a background in law enforcement, and it's just like I felt safe around you.
Right. You knew I had your back.
That's right. And I grew up a little bit in when I was younger. It was Big Stone Gap, Virginia. So that's where my accent came along, and I was made fun of growing up in the East Coast because I had this. So I feel exactly what you're going through, but I think it's really cute.
Thank you.
And I get to talk this way. So every time I see you, we're talking, and I think people come over and go,
yeah, every time he sees me, he talks country.
We talk like this. I want you to feel like home. You make me feel like home.
So. Say, hey, y'all watch this.
That's right. So is there anything you're looking forward to, like here? I mean, besides the work, like what do you do, hobbies?
I'm looking for places to hike and backpack in the Las Vegas area. I love to hike. So, and I just started cycling. I just got a bike.
Wow, that's great. Oh, we know lots of people that love doing that and going out to Red Rock Canyon.
And I'm not hardcore. I can't go 1,000,000 miles yet. I'm old.
So we'll take our little walks out there and show you around. That's wonderful.
Great.
Okay, so future goals, do you have any? I mean, sticking it. Do you see yourself liking it so much that you want to be in Vegas for a long time, or?
Yes, and after all the drama with moving here and all the drama with the moving company, I feel certain I would not put myself through that to schlep all the way across the country again. Yeah, that was bad. So I'm probably stuck here. I told my family that. They were like, well, if you decide to stay, I'm like, yeah, no, after that move, I feel certain I'll stay.
Yeah.
But my long-term goals, I want to see the Nevada room truly take off where it can become my main job and I can phase out from my nursing career because I'm kind of done with that.
So the Nevada Room is like a supper club. The old. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I know it's got Broadway roots between the owners, and it's.
Yes. So the square footage that we encompass, it's actually on the Piano Bistro side of the restaurant, is actually part of the old deli that the Rat Pack used to go to for their pastrami sandwiches after they played golf at the country club, because it's right there at the country club. Wow. Yeah. So that's our little history, and then. Our owner heard a story about one of our regular customers shared with him a few weeks ago that he had actually met at that same little deli, that he had actually met, I can't remember who, Debbie Reynolds and her husband had been in there. And when he remembered it from when he was a boy. And so he really was reminded of that when he came in and started sitting down at, getting seated in our venue. So,
and it's transformed into a beautiful place with the bar there with Michael, my friend Michael, bartender, and the piano, beautiful piano. So small stage, intimate, right? It's very close in the seating. I mean, it's
there's not a bad seat in the house. It doesn't matter where you are. You can see, you can hear. feel the music. It's fabulous. Great sound system. Sean runs our sound. Great sound system.
So that's on the bistro side, but on the other side, the showroom, which just opened up a couple months ago or so, or when you first got here?
Yes. And so we have some, Mist and Get, a local artist, former showgirl, does showgirl boot camp there. Yes, and I can't wait to take showgirl boot camp. That's on my to-do list. And then, I mean, I've got all these 6 feet of legs. I got to put them to use somehow, right? Kick line, showgirl. Yeah, I know. And then we have the stage is very versatile in that room, so we have it set up now for like the way most people like it. Is the same way we have it for Kelly's show. Nothing fancy, but then we also have it where we can make like almost a little runway if somebody wanted to rent it out for like a fashion show or a fundraiser or something like that, where they need an actual catwalk. We can kind of stretch that. It's not a long catwalk, but we can adjust the stage accordingly.
I know people. I know some fashion designers that I can refer. Maybe we can. Okay, we're going to start booking it up even more.
They need my info. There's my card.
And so, folks out there, how can they reach Tennessee, Miss Kristen Thompson?
Tennessee at thevegasnevadarooms.com. Easy enough, Tennessee.
So are you responsible, because I know it's sales and customer service, is that also booking the entertainment?
Yes, I do all the group sales. So even when my bosses or other coworkers get leads, they send them my direction, because that's my wheelhouse.
So I'm also wondering, like, with there's so many different piano players.
Right.
And then you got Tony Arias, who's a great comedian, and is anything coming up right now that's like that bigger shows that
Well, Tony just finished a weekend with us.
I saw him.
This past weekend. He was all over the place. Fabulous.
Amazing.
Yes. And then we just kind of wound down a series of Keith Thompson's piano parties. Those have been just all the rage, but they're going to be, we had a final toast for him last Tuesday, and Bill Fain's going to fill in, taking care of those on Tuesday nights in the interim until after the first of the year when Keith can get back to us. He's got business pressing in L.A. that's more important than our piano parties.
Well, I think everything's changing between the weather changing now and then things kind of shift here in Vegas where they go. It's interesting, so it's never a dull moment here.
No, never.
So I'm so glad that you're here and that you moved here and that we're friends, and we're gonna go line dancing soon, country line dancing, because when we have a break, when we're able to get Eldon Hunt, all of our studio audience can attest to this, is to be able to see him. We might have to drive up to Mesquite.
Yep.
And go see him there in order to get our country line dancing on and singing.
Yes.
And,
well, you heard the incident about when I was at the Hideaway, right? Where I looked up and two of my regular customers from the Nevada room were videoing me line dancing in my little boots and skirt. That was a little embarrassing.
Who is that?
Right. They were like, "Oh my God, Tennessee, hey!"
But Eldon Hunt, we love him.
That's
so
right.
I know our other friends out here have been going to see him up in Mesquite, so we should tag along with them sometime.
Yes, we should road trip.
Right, because it's hard to get off of Thursday nights at Kelly Clinton sit-in, because that thing is taken off. That is just like the incredible variety show and every week it just seems to be getting better and better. So
yes, it's amazing. Amazing.
So just like you.
Oh,
so
shucks.
Thank you. No, really. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a commercial break. We'll be back, and once again, we thank Tennessee from the Nevada Room, Kristen, for coming by, and check her out. If you need to reach out to the Nevada Room, ask for Tennessee if you're looking to book an event, right? Or to become an act there, or find out what's going on, then she's there and she's wonderful. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back in just a couple of moments. Tennessee!